the world's mightiest beasts wield awesome power. But ever wonder who would win when nature's heavyweights go head-to-head? These battles do happen in the wild, but we rarely witness them. So, to see who's the ultimate champion, to understand their true power, and appreciate their skills, we stage our own battles in a virtual arena. As our animals take shape, experts compare their strengths and weaknesses. With specially built biomechanical machines, we test their might. Finally, our virtual contenders come face to face for the ultimate showdown, Animal Face-Off. The sperm whale and the colossal squid. The biggest predators on the planet. Their mortal enemies. Their legendary fights recorded by ancient mariners. But these epic battles happen in places so remote or waters so deep, they've remained a mystery till now. The giant sperm whale on a permanent search and destroy mission. The colossal squid, a living sea monster that fears nothing and attacks everything. Now, these leviathans will meet in a duel to the finish at the bottom of the sea. In a high-tech lab, an international team of experts gathers. Their mission, reveal the secrets of nature's ultimate face-off.
Okay guys, I'm really excited about this one. Colossal squid versus sperm whale.
Dave Salmoni, zoologist and expert in predator psychology. Dave will be our guide in this Battle of the Beasts.
It's got stealth, it's got invisibility, it's got these seriously nasty hooks on the tentacles and on the arms.
Dr. Steve O'Shea, a world leader in squid research.
This is the largest squid I have ever seen in my life.
Steve is the scientist you call when you've landed a sea monster.
To actually see this specimen up close and personal like this is probably one of the highlights of my life right now.
So the colossal squid sounds like a tremendous predator, but it also sounds like it's got a tremendous number of predator avoidance mechanisms. And what it's trying to avoid, that is what's hunting it, is the sperm.
Professor Scott Baker, expert in whale behavior. He knows the strengths and weaknesses of the world's biggest predator.
They are the most amazing animals on the planet. You know, if you were to invent an animal, you would never create a squid. It's just, I want to be here in 100 million years' time and see what they've turned into.
Think about what a whale has done. In 60 million years, an animal that looked probably like a carnivorous cow is able to go down 3,000 feet.
This is going to be a big fight, guys. This is going to be a colossal fight.
We'll build mechanical versions of the colossal squid and sperm whale to test their powers and demonstrate their weapons. Next, we'll combine the results of our tests with behavioral information and chilling accounts from seafarers to pinpoint strengths and weaknesses. Then we'll program computerized sea giants for a virtual battle that will reveal which is the ultimate predator. The challenge. These great predators are a giant mystery.
There are so many things about squid that we just don't understand, and I think the same applies to the sperm whale. These are colossal animals, both of them, yet we know almost nothing.
Sailors reported sightings of the colossal squid for centuries, but only recently have we confirmed they exist. Some basic facts. It grows to at least 35 feet. At more than 900 pounds, it's the largest squid we know of. It lives in icy darkness, a mile down at the edge of Antarctica. It has 8 powerful arms and 2 tentacles with suckers and hooks. The final piece of weaponry, a slashing beak. The colossal squid may also use camouflage to vanish in the blink of an eye. This is a teenager. Adults likely reach twice this size. Ancient stories of the Kraken, the original sea monster, suggest we've met the colossal squid before. We just didn't know what it was. These tales were once written off as fantasies, but today we see truth in sketches left by ancient mariners. 8 muscular arms, huge eyes, the telltale shape of the fin. No fantasy, but a living nightmare. The same ancient stories tell of battles between the squid and another giant. Sperm whales can grow more than 60 feet long and weigh 40 tons. They're the biggest predator that's ever lived. But how they live is shrouded in mystery. They roam the world's oceans and can dive 2 miles deep in search of food. They're also one of the planet's noisiest animals. We know they're armed with more than 40 7-inch teeth, but don't know how they use them. And we know sperm whales eat a lot of squid, equal to the weight of every man, woman, and child on Earth. That's 100 million tons a year. Battles between our 2 sea giants rage along the Antarctic ice shelf. That's where we found our most complete specimen of a colossal squid. It's also where the biggest sperm whales come to hunt. At 6,500 feet, the temperature is just above freezing, and the pressure is 1.5 tons per square inch. Yet this is where squid and whale fight to the death. This is the stuff of nightmares, of frozen continents, inky black water, the world's largest predator, fighting a giant that's never been taken alive. How do we know these battles happen? The whales tell us. The evidence comes in the wake of a tragedy. A pod of young sperm whales washed up on a New Zealand beach. Their bodies carry the scars of battles with colossal squid.
Well, this is one of 12 male sperm whales that have washed in, just stranded. And what we're doing right now, we're actually taking squabs or squares of the tissue off, because to get the scar tissue, to actually get some of the sperm whale is pretty priceless. And then we're going to be doing the gut content analysis of this, because we're particularly interested in finding out exactly what this animal ate just before it died. We could get up to 20,000 squid beaks sitting inside that stomach.
Sperm whales eat up to 1,000 small squid every day. But a colossus nearly had this whale for lunch.
You can actually see, this is extraordinary. We've got 8 scars running down here. Now, a squid has got 8 arms and 2 long tentacles. These gouges that we've got, the scar tissue and the height of this, have come from the colossal squid. And then we've got all of these gouges all the way down over the jaw. Now, who knows what's been going on here, but you know, if this animal is eating 800 to 1,000 squid per day and they're all having a gouge and a scratch and a scrape like this is massive scar tissue all around the jaw of this animal. It's quite sensational. I think that'll probably do us.
Those scars are made by the colossal squid's razor-sharp hooks. They're as long as a tiger's claws and can rotate 360 degrees. With weapons like this, nothing's too big to attack.
They know no fear, absolutely no fear, squid.
Steve uses a smaller cousin of the colossal squid to reveal its bizarre anatomy.
So what most people want to see are the beaks. They're really sharp, and you can actually stick your finger right down through there. Quite unusual. The esophagus passes straight through the animal's brain. So you've got the 2 eyes, the head, beaks, the mantle, all the guts inside, and the 2 great big muscular fins. This thing will just hover in the water column, and when it sees something that it wants to eat, it'll just flap those fins and go straight into the prey.
This obviously isn't a colossal squid, but is it similar to a colossal squid at least?
It's as close as you can get to a colossal as possible, okay? I wouldn't be at all surprised if this was taking fish for food that were about the same size as the animal.
Really?
Yeah.
We're creating 2 virtual contenders. But to equip them for battle, we need to give them the fighting skills of the real animals. First, the colossal squid. How does it attack? And how does it defend itself against the sperm whale? For the answer, we'll build and test a mechanical squid. But how do you recreate a creature never seen alive? Talk to the man who knows them best.
Steve, what's the squid's main weapons?
It's endowed with them, okay? It's got stealth, it's got invisibility, it's got these seriously nasty hooks on the tentacles and on the arms. It's got these enormous eyes that it can see, you know, penetrate into the water hundreds and hundreds of meters. So this sperm whale, this great big clumsy thing, is just going to barrel itself through the water like that. The squid's going to see it and it's just going to, you know, minutes warning, it's just going to get out of the way.
We'll base our biomechanical model on the world's most complete specimen of a colossal squid. Chris Wheatley, Justin Buckingham, and Mike Latham form the design and construction team.
So I get a bit nervous.
We've got similar animals which grow to about this sort of size that we can scale up, and of course we had the one a year or so ago now, that great big thing. And I think that we can scale a model based on that one specimen.
I think I'd rather swim with whales than I would with colossal squid. Are you sure we want to do this, Jess? Oh, it sounds fun. Sounds good fun.
It's a real game of cat and mouse down there, I tell you.
Sounds very rubbery.
We've got some great model making, some great mechanics to do then.
On a very large scale. So yeah, cool.
First, our team builds a maquette, a scale model to help get the squid's proportions exactly right.
So this is actually attached to the head and it's bulbous. It'll be flattened dorsally and ventrally. So it'll kind of like go in a W. So you've got 2 enormous eyes either side of. Like that.
Once Steve okays the maquette, our sculptors can start on a full-size version. They scale up each slice in plywood to create a framework. Now the real work of building the squid can begin. In our battle between colossal squid and sperm whale, the squid will make the first move, using an unrivaled tactic to confuse its enemy.
Now you see that squid now, you see the way that it's attacked that prey, and all of a sudden, just instantly like that, it's going pulse, 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 pulse. I don't know how they do it, okay? But that is what the colossal squid would do.
Coming up, the ultimate vanishing act. The colossal squid's lair, a mile deep. Pitch black water. Then suddenly, a sneak attack.
It'll be sitting there in the water column, completely transparent, maybe attack a prey and all of a sudden go into this fantastic fireworks display. Pulse, 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 or completely red, just bang, just like that. It's faster than that. It's incredible stuff.
It almost looks like a strobe light even. I mean, that looks artificial.
Can you imagine that on a colossal scale? It would be fantastic. The ones that we've got in tanks right now are still capable of going completely transparent to brick red. So it might be, an attribute or a characteristic of the larger squid. I don't really know, because nobody's really been able to grow these things up to check it out.
So what can we discover about how the colossal squid uses camouflage? Our quest begins off California with another master of disguise, the humbled squid. Part of the giant squid family, it can grow to 14 feet. The humbled uses a pearly white color to blend into the gloom and a fluorescent strobe to confuse its prey. Even in the squid world, red means danger. Other relatives of the colossal squid show how this magical color change works. Squid are cephalopods, giant snails that have developed tentacles. So are cuttlefish and octopus. Cephalopods are the most intelligent of the invertebrates. They can change their skin pattern instantly to match their surroundings, a skill unequaled in nature. Australia's deadly blue-ringed octopus shows how it's done. Its skin is covered with small pockets that contain pigments and crystals. When the octopus squeezes these pockets, it's like hitting a switch. The pigments and crystals darken or start to glow. When the octopus relaxes the pressure, the color vanishes. Squid use the same technique. Scientists have counted 40 camouflage patterns, and squid can change them in less than a second. These reef squid have colored their backs to match the seabed, and their underbellies to match the light from above, shielding against danger from above and below. In a world where they meet a predator every 10 minutes, this trick is a lifesaver.
Does the squid change form? I mean, I think of the octopus that changes its colour. Is that the same thing with this colossal squid?
Colossal squid, when it's alive, is probably this great big barrel shape. It's a transparent sphere with these enormous fins on the back.
Transparent?
It's totally transparent, yeah.
Wow.
We still don't know how a squid makes itself transparent. It's the only creature that can become almost completely invisible. It can't make its eyes disappear, but it does the next best thing.
Underneath the eye, it's got 2 photophores, okay? Now, if you've got a predator that's looking up, now it's looking at a shiny surface or a lighter surface above, you know, the sun is shining on down. It uses those photophores to cast light down, thus making the eyes invisible relative to the sea level itself.
If an invisible body and glowing eyes don't do the job, the squid can put up a smokescreen. It surprises the opponent and covers a quick exit. Launching a surprise attack from invisibility makes the squid a deadly hunter. It also explains why we took so long to discover it. The animators equip our virtual colossal squid with stealth camouflage. A device our virtual sperm whale must counter when they meet in our cyber showdown.
Would you like to be in the water with the sperm whale or with the colossal squid? I know where I'd put my money. I wouldn't be in the water with the squid, I'd tell you.
I prefer neither.
Yeah, I think the squid would rip you to bits and it's going to do serious injury to that whale.
But to help it in the coming battle, the whale is armed with one of nature's most sophisticated weapon systems. The deeper you go in the ocean, the darker it gets. After just 100 feet, there's no light at all. Yet the sperm whale can dive much deeper, almost 2 miles. So, how does it find its way around in total darkness? With a sixth sense, it can see with sound. Sound is the best way we have to track and study whales, and sperm whales make a lot of noise. Those clicks and creaks can hit 190 decibels. That's like being 1 yard from a jet engine. Some have been recorded at 223 decibels. The noise of a rocket launch. Sperm whales produce up to 1,800 clicks during a dive, 500 million during their lifetime. These pulses are so loud, they can be heard 40 miles away. But how does the whale use sound to detect an invisible object underwater? The same way submarines do. Subs and whales both use sonar, sound navigation, and ranging to find their way around. Sound travels through water 5 times faster than in air at 3,600 miles an hour. By sending out sound pulses, then listening for the echo, subs and whales can identify a target's size, speed, and direction. The Navy uses electronics. The whale just uses its nose. And 50 million years of practice. The whale's huge nose is a noise generator and is filled with 500 gallons of waxy oil called spermaceti. Sound bounces from the whale's nostril to the back of the head, then out.
You said that the spermaceti organ is this thing that produces sound. Explain to me how this thing works.
But when you see the skeleton of a sperm whale, particularly the skull, it's remarkable. The whole thing has changed over time as it's evolved, so that it forms a huge kind of a dish or almost like an amphitheater in the front. And then the jaw projects out tens of feet in front of that. All of this forms a support for this huge spermaceti organ. And the spermaceti oil is in the head. And at least one of the functions of that is to focus sound. So the production of the sound goes on back along the modified nasal tracts below the blowhole, and then it's projected forward in different ways that we don't understand through that spermaceti organ.
We're about to take the whale's pulse to see how it measures up against a colossal squid. Then we'll see who's stalking who. The colossal squid can make itself invisible, but the sperm whale might see right through that trick using its natural sonar.
So you mentioned that the giant squid is invisible and that it might be able to see the sperm whale first. But of course the sperm whale has sonar, and I think that's the sperm whale's primary prey detection method. So it might be detecting the colossal squid at probably tremendous distances, long before the squid can react.
Your transparent thing doesn't work out so good in that situation.
A sub fires its sonar pulses in all directions, but a sperm whale can focus its sound into a beam. Just the thing for locating a slippery squid in the depths. The lab team has rigged up a sound system to demonstrate how the whale's sound beam travels through water.
Put this thing to business here. Okay, let it rip. Ooh. Oh, look at that. That's a nice one. Oh yeah, that is cool.
Each of these smoke rings represents a sonar pulse from a sperm whale. Sound from a large speaker forces air through a choke point, where it's focused into a narrow ring, similar to what the whale does with its nose.
Well, I think this is a pretty impressive representation of what sound would look like if we slowed it way down.
Yep.
And the sperm whale is using a much higher frequency sound. It's pulsing it like this, so each smoke ring represents a compressed wave of sound, which would also have pressure. I mean, it is a pressure wave.
In the deep, dark waters of Antarctica, the whale's tiny eyes are useless, but those pressure waves cut through the gloom like a searchlight. The returning echoes show the whale what's ahead. Camouflage is no protection against this weapon because it detects shape, not color. The animators have built our virtual sperm whale from the skeleton out. Now they can equip it with sonar, the weapon that might defeat the colossal squid's camouflage when they go into battle. They now have enough data to unleash their two contenders. Let's find out. The whale begins a long, slow dive. Somewhere in the blackness, a colossal squid watches and waits, hidden by its cloak of invisibility. Then the whale activates its sonar, the squid's camouflage is stripped away. Suddenly, it becomes a target. But there's a flaw in the whale's strategy. How do you sneak up on an enemy when you're roaring like a 747? Squid have no ears, but they can detect pressure changes from the whale's sonar. And we know exactly how they respond. At 140 decibels, they get interested. At 150, they get agitated. And at 170, they fire their ink sacs and get out of there. When squid detect loud noises, they know a sperm whale is on the hunt. So how will the colossal squid respond? Our animators freeze the action till they have more data. We'll use our test model to fill in some blanks, such as what a colossal squid looks like alive. Already, its features are clearer. That tapered body is perfectly designed for a high-speed attack.
All this ridge
That's
here.
gone. Yeah.
Okay.
Let's make your arms a little longer.
Okay.
And then make that pointed.
The colossal squid uses its long tentacles to grab and hold prey. Then the 8 arms drag the prey toward a slow death.
This is surrounded in all sorts of musculature. Okay, so the musculature over that would surround it like that.
Okay.
Diameter of the pupil.
Onto that.
Yeah, you'll guess if you get very nice.
It is absolutely massive.
Those eyes are the largest on the planet.
About that.
Yep.
Behind the head, the mantle and fin, the engine that moves the streamlined squid. Squid aren't just stealth machines, they're jet-propelled killing machines. Lightning fast, they turn on a dime. They can swim circles around a lumbering whale.
The squid can move. They can bolt right out of there in seconds.
Yeah.
So first of all, it can escape the sperm whale, no doubt about it.
Right.
And second, it's got to be seen first because the thing is actually invisible in the water column. Now that squid, it can, it's got total bifocal vision. It can move those eyes around in any direction. It's seeing everything around it. So this sperm whale is bearing down on it like this. The eyes will shoot forward like this and boom, that's right out of there. It's not a sitting duck at all.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, well, we'll have to see this thing.
The driving force in the squid's acrobatic maneuvers is jet propulsion. The squid uses its fins for maneuvering and hovering. For an instant blast-off, it switches to its main thruster. It sucks water into its mantle, then shoots it out through its funnel. It reaches top speed in just 1/8 of a second. One quick squirt and the squid is positioned for attack. The humbled squid shows the kind of thrust those jets can generate. Imagine the thrusting power of a 35-foot colossal squid.
How fast do these things go?
If you've got an unsuspecting prey item, I have no doubt that this colossal squid could speed through the water forwards at 10, 15 knots, real quick, because it's only going to take that one lunge. And it's got enormous bag there, which is surrounded by circular musculature. Now, contraction of that circular musculature, the whole animal, you've got a fantastic volume of water in there that is all going to be shot through a tiny funnel. Now, huge volume of water, contraction, shot through the funnel, bang, it's near instantaneous.
At 17 miles an hour, the colossal squid covers 25 feet in 1 second from a standing start. When it confronts the whale, the squid will use this lightning acceleration to take the fight to the enemy.
They're incredibly intelligent animals, and they go straight for the head, straight for the eye, chew out the eyes, and then dispense with the head and start filleting the animal.
Think about what the head of the sperm whale is. The head of the sperm whale is the vast spermatocytic organ, particularly in the adult male.
It doesn't want to eat that.
It doesn't know the difference between the head
very intelligent.
and the
It's
eye.
gone straight for the eyes.
Nimble jet fighter versus powerful submarine. Colossal squid versus sperm whale. A battle never witnessed in modern times. We know the squid is fast and agile. Will the sperm whale's mighty tail give it enough speed to keep up? The sperm whale has a huge propeller, a tail with flukes 16 feet across. Cruising speed, a stately 4 miles an hour. But when the whale shifts into high gear, its flukes deliver a top speed of 27 miles an hour. It dives at 260 feet a minute, so a trip down to 10,000 feet and back lasts more than an hour, the longest dive of any mammal. The sperm whale is faster than a submarine and much faster than a colossal squid. In a straight line, our virtual sperm whale could easily run the squid down. But it's not agile enough to stay on the squid's tail in tight turns. In the coming battle, maneuverability may give the squid the edge. Sperm whales do sometimes catch and eat these lightning-fast creatures. We find their beaks in the stomachs of beached whales. Our squid expert, Dr. Steve O'Shea, shows the cost of victory can be high.
And what's happened is this squid, it's been stuck down there. This animal's been in the Antarctic, and obviously it's had all 8 arms out over the sperm whale, and that's just been dragged on down in there into this pit, into the mouth, and there. It's left all the scars going straight over the hide of the whale.
But there's a mystery. Even though the whale has enormous teeth, they leave no dent on the squid.
When you look at the stomach contents of sperm whales, the squid are coming in either whole or in halves, and they don't have teeth marks on them.
How can a whale capture and swallow the biggest, baddest squid in the ocean without leaving a single mark? We need a working set of whale jaws to unravel this mystery in the lab. Chris Wheatley, Justin Buckingham, and Mike Latham will build the jaws. They turn to our whale expert, Professor Scott Baker.
In the whale, is there anything special we should be trying to recreate that's really significant in that animal?
Well, I think the shape of the jawbone is going to be critical because we don't really know what the function of the jaw is. We don't know that it's primarily a weapon.
What's the evolutionary tactic to growing these humongous teeth and not using them to bite things?
Well, not that they're not used for clasping.
If the team can build an accurate set of jaws and teeth, we might at last discover how the whale uses them.
How big would a tooth be?
They're big.
Do they only have one row of teeth on the bottom? Do they not have teeth on the top of the jaw?
They have no teeth on the top.
Quite unusual, isn't it?
Very unusual, but quite a few of the squid-feeding animals have lost teeth entirely.
How do the teeth actually work? Do they go into a socket, or are they...
There is a socket. It's like a gum-like socket.
Is that right?
Well, I could do that.
Yeah.
We've got half as many teeth to make. That's not too bad, is it?
They're building the biggest bite on Earth. The challenge. These jaws need to be huge, heavy, and powerful. Chris, the designer, creates a blueprint for the modelers and engineers. Sperm whales have up to 40 teeth. Solid pegs that can grow to 7 inches. Justin and his team carve each tooth out of dense plastic foam. The foundry crew packs the plastic teeth in sand, then pours in molten aluminum. The liquid metal vaporizes the plastic and takes its place. Now all the teeth need is a polish. Mike and his engineers recycle a small crane jib to make the jaw. The whole system will need to be mobile, so it can move into the test lab. Solution: modified bulldozer tracks and turbocharged hydraulic power. As the engineers assemble the jaws, our experts are chomping at the bit.
Well, we've actually got larval squid at this point in time alive, and these squid will coordinate together and they will take down prey that's 2 to 2.5 times their size. These are little wee larval squid. Now if the adults are doing the same thing, let's say we've got 4 or 5 colossals on you, you're in big trouble.
Big trouble. I don't know. Certainly painful. But still, I'd say it instinctual at that level. And the sperm whale has the advantage of intelligence and experience. So if it's been attacked by 1, it's already gotten a strategy for dealing with 1. If it's attacked by 2 or 3, it will know that that's going to come to follow.
Time to bear the world's biggest bite.
So what do you think, Steve?
Oh, I don't know. What is this special effects that you need to try and conquer my squid?
No, the whale doesn't need that.
What is this?
12 feet of jaw, 40 teeth, 7 inches, 60 feet, 40 tons.
Bigger they are, the harder they fall. You don't stand a chance. Come on.
Right.
Time will tell, Scott.
Talk about jaws of death. They're not for show, so let's see how strong they really are. To establish the bite power of the sperm whale, we need to reproduce known behavior and measure the force involved.
We're gonna smash some stuff?
I vote we break something, mate.
Well, listen, I've been doing some reading and I understand that whales are capable of smashing up boats. You know, Moby Dick and all that, which is based on a true story.
We do have the records of attacks of sperm whales on whaling ships from the 19th century. Yeah, the famous case that gave rise to the legend of Moby Dick was the sperm whale that attacked the whaling vessel Essex in 1820 and destroyed it in just 2 or 3 passes, ramming it. But there were numerous cases where the whales destroyed whaling boats, that is the smaller oar and sail-powered boats that were used for the open boat hunting. Oh yeah, and I mean the depictions of this in the 19th century, the jaw collapsing the 19, 20-foot whaling boats were not, those were taken from direct experience.
Really? these big sperm whales are capable of smashing big boats. I happen to bring a big boat, so figure if we put it in the jaws and we just sort of use the minimal amount of force to squish it, there'll be sort of the place where we can start knowing that they are capable of this much force. What do you think?
Oh, it's science.
The boat should give us a ballpark figure of the sperm whale's jaw power.
I want you to use the minimal amount of force required to smash this boat so that we have some way of calibrating how strong these things are.
The team will increase the power until the boat starts to crack.
A little bit more.
The hydraulic system's pressure gauge will give us the numbers.
Oh yeah, we got some teeth through
Okay,
it.
how much force is that?
That's 1,600 now.
So the sperm whale has a bite force of at least 1,600 pounds.
Keep going.
3/4 of a ton.
Yeah, that'll do. We'll take it up to about 1850.
It's 1,800 now.
Yep, and right up.
Okay, keep biting!
Okay, keep coming up.
How much pressure is that, Russ?
It's 1,850 now.
The mystery deepens. That mighty chomp should tear squid to shreds. So why are squid found intact inside dead whales?
We'll take it up to about 1850.
The animators have equipped our virtual sperm whale with 47-inch teeth and at least 1,600 pounds of bite force. Enough to take on man or beast.
I think